Happy Monday, everybody. I hope you had a great day and an even better week. Thank you for coming along to see about me today and my incredible guest, which I will bring up very shortly. And so, before I go do that, make sure you like, comment, and share those that are in the replay. Thank you for coming as well. I'm gonna go through the chat and then I have a survey I want to share with you, and then we will bring up Carnival Cruise Addict. So let's see who's here. Danny, can't wait, baby. I can't wait either. I'm excited. Hey, Shay, thank you for coming through. Um, Carnival Cruise Addicts is saying hi to everybody. Embarkation Nation, thank you for coming through. Thank you. Happy Monday to everybody. Let's see who else is here. Bam Nola is saying hi. Thank you for coming through. Bam Nola. Michelle Wadler is here. Thank you for coming. Happy Monday. TJ's Destination. Happy Monday. Maggie is here. Keisha is here. Happy Monday, Keisha. And so, therefore, we are down. I'm going through everybody saying hello to everybody. Go Wilson Travel. Happy Monday. Coker Culture is here. Happy Monday. And so I'm just going through everybody. Hey, Marjorie, thank you for coming through. Happy Monday as well. JJ's Adventures is here. Chris is showing up. And then Amelia. Hey, Amelia, thank you for coming on. Happy Monday. I think I've caught up with the chat. Everybody's saying hi to each other. Thank you so much, Maggie. Hit those like, folks. Hit those likes. Let me go over this survey and then I will bring up Carnival Cruise Addicts. I'm excited to interview them and to hear about their experience with Celebration Key, not only with Celebration Key, but I want to hear about their experience with Carnival Conquest, with Carnival itself. So we are going to have a conversation tonight. If you missed it, I did a survey and I did a survey asking the question, what is your favorite private cruise line destination? And so I had Royal Caribbean Coco Cay, Carnival Half Moon Cay, MSC Ocean Cay, and Norwegian Great Stirrup Cay. And so the results are in. Royal Caribbean got 35%. Carnival Half Moon Cay got 35%, tied with Coco Cay. MSC Ocean K has 20% and Norwegian Great Stirrup K has 10%. If you agree, if you don't agree, the survey is still out there so you can vote as well for yourself. And so I'm getting ready to bring up Carnival Cruise Addicts. Let us go. We are ready. Are you ready? I hope you are ready as well. As everybody is saying hi in the chat to each other, I'm going to bring them up. Hey, Liz and Chris.
Look at the new merch. Come on, stand up, show everybody. Love that. Love that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the love. They always showing love. I appreciate that so much. She has on my shirt. I previewed my shirt on the last video. Actually, she helped me to be able to design it and put it together. And so that I finally have something that I always wanted something to wear when I go on a ship. I have cards as well, but I always want to have something so people could know. And it has a barcode on the back and all these things so people know and can be able to see what my channel name is. And if they have the Wi-Fi, they can easily just be able to scan it and be able to subscribe. Team Reese is here. Happy Monday. I think they came on. Everybody else was here. Travel with Josiane. Happy Monday. Y'all ready? Come with your questions. Get your questions ready because we are getting ready to go budgeting by Deanna. Happy Monday. And everybody's saying hi to each other. So let's go. So I want to talk about, first of all, I know. I think I'm like you in terms of the fact that I'm not a person that is big ship crazy. I don't need to have a big ship. I don't have to go on a big ship. I could have fun on a smaller ship just as much as a big ship. And I've enjoyed my times on many smaller ships. My first cruise line, I always tell people, was Carnival Victory. So I know what it is to be used to going on a small ship. So what did you think about just the cruising experience, Carnival Conquest? I know your big thing is if the casino's nice. What did you think about Carnival Conquest in general? And then we're going to go on to the entertainment and speak about your experience on the ship before we even get to Carnival Celebration.
Okay, well, so casino aside, so we did a 3-day, 4-day back-to-back.
Our first ever.
Our first ever back-to-back. And we haven't done a 3 and a 4-day in a long, long time. The 3-day, I probably would not do that again.
Yeah, it's.
Okay.
I mean, on any ship, we've talked to a couple of other YouTubers and cruisers, and they said pretty much any line you're on, the 3-day is a little bit more rambunctious, and it was.
It was rambunctious. People were there with one purpose, to have fun, but also
No. Their purpose was to smoke weed everywhere on the ship.
Yeah, I mean,
and just it felt like I was in Jamaica.
The 4-day was much better. The ship itself, I mean, it needs love.
It's going to a dry dock, I think, next year sometime, but it's not bad.
It's going in dry dock in January. It was supposed to be later this year, but they postponed it for the casino cruises.
They aced it.
But the reality is, we love the old decks, the wooden decks.
Yep.
We love the glass elevator, the atrium, like
all the weird glass flowers on that particular boat. They're everywhere. In MDR, if you're in the main dining room, in the hallways, in the corridors, there's these weird glass blown sculpture lights. And but yeah, I love the decor of those old ships. It needs to have a little bit of updating, like Liz said, but overall the size wasn't bad. It's the larger of the ships before the newer class came out, because we would get to the hallway, we picked the absolute wrong elevator bank, and we were air quotes midship, and we're like, and it's a straight line, and that's something me and Liz were talking about going down the hallways. Do you like the hallways that are a straight line?
In the cabins.
In the cabin, sorry, or the ones that jog? And I'm like, I think I like the straight line ones more, because you can see how far your target is. In the Excel class ships, particularly, they jog a little bit. So you're like, oh, there's the jog. Oh, no, 2 more jogs. But
but they also have the secret decks at the front of the ship.
Decks 6 and 7.
With the great balcony. So, like, we do like the ship, even though it's in a little rough shape. Connie needs a little refresh.
Yeah.
But it's overall a great ship.
Yeah, I don't know. So 3-day cruises is known more or less. I know you said you had booze on yours. It's known more or less like a booze cruise. So people, especially during a holiday weekend, forget about it. If there's a holiday on that Monday, people are going to unwind. They're going to drink and things of that nature. I feel like maybe on a non-holiday weekend is better, especially if it's not a cruise that is not during the summer. You could find all characters in the summer. And I don't know if I heard that so much. I just feel like I hear that more on Carnival more than other ships when it comes to these 3-day cruises, right? These 3-day weekend cruises just can go crazy and go wild more than I hear really with other cruise ships. So what you thought about the cruise director? Now, I have my opinion on cruise director. And so what do you think about the cruise director? If it's right, it should be Robbie, right?
Robbie.
And did he...
So what was his tagline? Like
and he's like, "Good morning, family," and I'm like, just knock that shit off.
No, it's like, and he's like hum and whatever.
I mean, they all got their taglines. That's not a good one. I mean, as a director, I think he was pretty good. We did the 80s party, which is his favorite.
I love the 80s party.
Freaking nailed it.
Yeah.
He brought everybody together to have a good time. So for the 80s party, I think as that part, great. His intro, change it.
He was good though.
He was good.
He was, around.
We've seen him on a couple different spots. He was there on debarkation, So overall, I think he was okay.
But for us, the cruise director doesn't make or break the experience. Honestly, it doesn't matter if you're good or bad. Like honestly, unless you're Lee Mason. It's very hard, or Kindle Fire, or something. Like
they're different. They are literally. I don't know when those type of people sleep. You wake up in the morning, they're on Lido deck getting a coffee with you. You're out on the deck, walking around on deck 3 on this particular boat, looking at the ocean. They're out there walking around saying hi. You know what I mean? So some are different than others, but overall, not offended. I thought he was pretty good, except his morning greeting.
Yeah, what did you think?
I think you could definitely see the difference when a cruise director is not good. And it's rare when I've experienced one. It's like somebody that doesn't bring the energy, and I think sometimes even when you go to the Love and Marriage show and they're kind of dry, like you need somebody that's humorous, energetic, and kind of all of that. If you're going to be an individual that goes to the parties, that goes to the shows and things of that nature, people who maybe just laid back and don't really just want to go to all of that stuff because they've done it before, then it won't really have the impact. But it doesn't make or break a cruise, but it does impact it if Carnival does not have a good cruise director. So about the music. So we had this trivia, this controversy that's going around. They're not playing hip hop anymore. They're only catering to certain crowd, like they're not gonna bring the fun, all that other stuff. And so I know that that wasn't the case on my cruise. And so now that you had a back-to-back, what do you think? Can you speak to that? Is Carnival still bringing the fun? Are they still doing what they need to do when it comes to the music, the embarkation day, the different other parties? What do you say? What was your experience?
Here's my view on the whole thing. Everybody was complaining pre this whole controversy about the music being repetitive. Same songs, it's the wobble, it's the cha-cha slide, it's old, it's time to mix it up. Guess what? Then they do it and everyone's like, controversy. Carnival doesn't like certain people.
Right. They're changing the songs because it's going to reduce the riots. It's not. They started with the whole band clap fan song, which is that line dance,
Boots on the ground, which we never heard of before, but that was the first song they played.
Yeah. And I can tell you, we got footage. You can barely step foot. And on this particular boat, deck 9 was Lido, and then they have, as I call them, the half decks, because they have those little steps up to where all the chairs are. And then you got deck 10, then you got deck 11. You could not find a spot to stand. So their deck party still absolutely crushes. And when it comes to certain people, every race, creed, color was there. It was amazing.
Exactly. So we squashed the rumors. I had the same experience. I did not feel like, I felt like they had more variety, like Latin, hip hop. They did boots on the ground. They were still, and I did a 3-day, and you experienced it on a back-to-back cruise. So we squashed all of the rumors that they're not doing what they're supposed to be, and it's not going to be fun as it used to be, and all that other junk. So we kind of squashed all of those rumors.
That deck was packed. When I say packed, I mean absolutely packed.
What you thought about the back-to-back process? I've never done a back-to-back with Carnival. So what did you think about the back-to-back process? Was it seamless? Was it easy? Was it a little difficult? Was it like, this doesn't make sense?
So, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I had checked in for both cruises prior to leaving, but I didn't need to. Right? I didn't need to, because they basically put a letter in your cabin, and they tell you on debarkation day to show up in the restaurant at I think it was 9:45 or 9:30. And then, so there was 11 of us. We all sat there. We waited quite a few, it all depends on customs and when they're ready.
Well, the first cruise, the debarkation, because it was more of a party cruise, nobody watched the videos on TV. Nobody paid attention. Nobody did the research. So they're like, oh, we're in Miami. We're getting off. So 4,000 people are trying to get off the boat when the cruise director is calling, hey, A, B, and C, 1, 2, and 3, you're going now. And everybody's like, nah, we're going now.
Yeah, so that
was madness.
Yeah,
right.
A lot of blue cards,
But once that was all died down, they came and got us. They handed us our new cards. Yep. They walked us off the ship down to customs where you get your baggage and all that. They scanned your face.
Yep.
And then they brought us back on the ship, and then we were free to do whatever. And the muster wasn't even ready then. And so it was easy.
It was super easy. I was kind of surprised. There was only, I think, 11 of us doing the back-to-back. Or
that's why I said 11.
Yeah, 11. And then 3 of them were contractors. So everybody else we talked to, it was easy. They don't bring you all the way to the end of customs where you get off. They actually bring the little photo station to you. So you get down the escalator. They have a customs and border patrol person there. And the one thing I will say, the land people did not like each other. They didn't get along very well because the gentlemen getting off that were contractors, I guess it's a little bit different when it comes to the cards. I don't know that answer. But they were trying to find their information. They couldn't. The other lady's like, oh, to hell with this. You. Everybody, who's not a contractor, scan your face, get back on the ship. We'll figure it out later.
But it was
easy. Very easy.
So, and you're going to do a video on that, right?
Yeah,
so
we
kind of show us the process. Okay, great.
Yeah.
And so they have videos coming out. So they're gonna be able to show us the videos, and they're like the day to day. I have my first question for those people who came on after my greetings. Happy Monday! Thank you for coming through. Can you just like, comment, and just have your questions ready for them, because I'm going to pull up the questions so that we can ask Carnival Cruise addicts Liz and Chris about the experience. So the first question: did you do the sail away on both cruises?
So did we?
No, we didn't do the first one. We didn't do the first one because we were filming.
I think we were alive during the first sail away.
Oh yes, actually, the first sail away we were live, so we didn't do the first.
We went up for a little bit and then we did it live.
Yep.
And then we did the second one.
And the second one, which was the 4-day, we did the sail away, and it was nuts.
Yeah.
So okay, we know that you love the casino. So what you thought about the casino? I know there was a bar there, so I know that's something that they're trying to get rid of, is the bar in the casino. So right now, so you said they're going to refurbish it, so maybe they may get rid of that.
I don't think they'll get rid of it.
Okay. I'm hoping.
I'm not sure, but I don't think they will. The casino is on the smaller side, and it didn't have a lot of the games that we'd like to play, but believe me, we had plenty of things to play.
Yep.
And
it was probably 33% smoking, 66% non-smoking.
Yeah.
It's a much larger non-smoking casino. So if you're the non-smoker, then you'll have more slot machines. Yeah. If you're a smoker, it's a little bit less, but they have an even split of tables for both sides.
They don't have a separate non-smoking like some of the other ships do. I don't know if they'll be able to create that with the dry dock, but that would be nice for folks who don't want to be in smoke. They do have those air fresh, we call them stink boxes, these air fresheners in there, and it just makes me choke. So that's annoying, but they have that on many ships.
Yeah, I think they have them on all. Even the dealers are like, it makes them choke. It's supposed to, I guess, drown out the smell of the smoke, but it's worse than. We were driving home, like, I think it smelled like I'm still in the casino. I haven't worn this.
Don't show.
No, I was smelling my shirt.
And I think Maggie asked if we won in the casino. We won a lot.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you that. She beat me to it. Yeah. Yes,
we won a lot and we lost a lot, but we walked away with our budget in our purse
intact. So
okay, so you evened out. You broke even.
More than even out.
Yeah.
We didn't lose, so that's good. And my first bill on the first leg was $6.28, and the second leg was $120 something.
Yep. So with all the stuff we bought and stuff like that, we paid it off.
We paid most of it off, so that was good.
So Maggie's asking for a loan.
Maggie, and you can't get a loan. It was break even, which for us, and if you're a gambler, that's a win. You go to a casino or to gamble with X budget, and if you lose that budget, you expect it. If you come back with that budget, okay. If you win, yay! You know.
Danny says, wrong night for those nips, Chris.
No, I was smelling my shirt. I wasn't showing nips.
Yeah.
Maggie said, "Oh well, I tried." Hey, you can't. She tried, right? So let's go into Celebration Key. So I want to know. So my thing is, when I first looked at it from the cruise, I was like, I'm unimpressed, right? Yeah. I just looked at it. I was like, it looks small, and I think it was because there was that open space, and so you saw that empty space, and so maybe it made it look even smaller because you saw the empty space maybe that they're going to make into the water park. And so maybe with that, instead of it being kind of like all like surrounded by like jungle or trees, and so there was this emptiness, and I was like, okay, maybe that way it kind of looked, I'm impressed, until I got off the ship. So what was your first impressions when you just saw it, maybe from the ship, just kind of like scoping it out? And then we'll go forward into, the impression and your expectations and how all of that like lined up going forward.
So, I mean, I think I agree with you because the reality is that pier is so long. It's a longer pier than a lot of other ports. So everything looks so small. And then when you get on the land, you're like, oh my gosh, this place is massive. That pool, the lagoon pool was massive. I mean, ginormous. And then they're going to expand this like multiple times. It is insane. Thank God they have trams running across the whole thing so that you can get from place to place, unless you're fit. We're not fit, but like it was hot.
Fat and 50, baby.
Yes.
Fat and 50, yes.
Me.
But it was impressive. Like once you got up close and you saw the scale of how big that pool was and the seating and everything, it was very impressive.
Yeah, I totally agree. Looking from the ship, and we were watching your video, I'm like, that looks like it sucks, you know, because the other a lot of cruise lines, they're theme parks, as I like to call them, or their home port, or whatever their specialty port is. There's water slides, there's this, that, and the other, and then there's a sand castle with 2 water slides. I'm like, huh? You can't even see the pool from the boat, but like
not impressive.
On land, it's like, oh my God, I thought they nailed it. And yes, we're Carnival Cruise addicts, but I don't care if I was going to anybody else's port. I think they nailed it. The only complaint, if I had to, was the walking paths need a little bit more shade, a couple more shade spots. So all the chairs, all the umbrellas are free. Sit down, enjoy that. You know what I mean? But there's water stations everywhere. But just me being fat and old and bald, you know, I got to protect that. A couple more shade spots or misters, I think was mentioned.
Yeah, we were talking the other day. Like, wouldn't it be great if they had misters along the way so that you could just like hang out and
that's
some
good.
Like wetness and then
especially when it's that hot in the summer.
And that's why I'm eagerly anticipating the December one, where it's going to be a lot cooler because it's literally parallel to where we are in Florida. So latitude-wise, it's the same thing. So our temperature here, our temperature there, about the same. So I'm hoping it's a little bit cooler and a little bit nicer to walk around. But all said and done, first impressions, not that impressive from the boat. But once you get on there, I was pleasantly surprised. I thought they were maybe rushing it and just to get it open, this, that, and the other. But I think they did a good job personally.
Yeah, they did.
So did you think they kept saying that it took around 10 minutes to walk? So for you, was it like 10 minutes? I don't know your pacing because when I said it,
You think we walked?
See previous comment of fat and old. Oh, and I have a bad knee. We actually
y'all took the tram.
We got off crazy early, and you know we were anticipating looking at the tram, it being full of people that needed it, and you know I'll lift my fat butt all the way down there. That's fine. It's okay. But there was nobody out there. The first time we got on, there's like 4 or 5 people on the tram, and it holds 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 people.
15 people, I think.
So they were like, you know what the hell? We're going to take the tram. And on the way back, same thing. Nobody was waiting for it that needed it. So we jumped on. But I think Liz shot a video from the time we got on the tram to the time we got to the boat, and it was about a minute and a half. And that's on a tram doing probably 10, 12 miles an hour. So from what I understand, it's about 5 to 7 minutes.
I think 6 to 10 is what people were saying. You know,
it's a long walk.
And did you take the tram to every part of the park? Or
no.
No.
Yeah, we walked it. Yeah, we walked everything from there. But from boat to celebration back, we did take the trams.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. And
did you walk it?
I walked it, but then when I came back, and it was so easy access, the fact that the tram was right across the street from Pearl Cove. And then I took it to Lacona Cove because I wanted to do some shopping. Me and Legacia, LF McKinley, that's her name on here. And me and Legacia, we went to and did some shopping. And then we took the tram, then back. So I think, so I walked it all the way. And then coming back, I was doing the tram. It was just, it was a long day. It was hot. It was tired, you know.
So hot.
And like I said, 99% of the human population is going to look at somebody that needs the tram and they'll step back. But as long as it is, and later in the day, it being so hot, I'll wait to let everybody. If I got to wait there 20 minutes, it's better than me walking my fat butt back with a bad knee. Sorry.
Yeah.
But it's a big pair.
So we got a question from Danny. What was your favorite part of Celebration Key?
I mean, we paid the $99.99 option to do Pearl Cove access, which did not include food. It did not include drinks.
Nope. Oh, you get one welcome drink. They'll give you a rum punch.
They give you a welcome drink, but we had water. Yeah. Believe it or not, we don't drink that much during the day.
You're here at 8 o'clock in the morning. How much are you drinking? You know, I'm a drinker.
But it's worth it because it was so. It was so like serene there. It was very. It's like Serenity on the boat, right? It's adults only
with much fluffier chairs.
You got you didn't have to bring your towel. The infinity pool was just amazing. They had a swim up bar, had a private beach there. Like the whole experience was very chill. Everybody was really chill. The bathrooms were air conditioned, and maybe they were air conditioned elsewhere, but I really liked these bathrooms they had there. I'm big on bathrooms. Like. Lots of bathrooms in Celebration Key. Everywhere you go, there's bathrooms and showers and lockers. That was cool, which you don't get on like Half Moon Key either. No. You know, so like there's a lot of, so you don't have to do that though. If you go to the adult section in Calypso,
which is the west side,
right. They do have adults only area, adult friendly, they call it, whatever.
18 plus, so air quotes adult. I don't know if I was at 18.
But there was plenty of seating. Plenty of seating there too. So.
But so you got the one that was just the access.
Oh, go. I'm sorry, Paul. Go ahead.
You just got the one that was just pure access.
Correct.
Pure access. That's it.
Got you.
And it was nice. It was well worth it.
Okay, so you would do it again?
I would.
Yes.
Okay. I think I said that in one of my videos. I think I said I would do it again, whether I do the drink option or just the the access, because I did enjoy that pool. I thought that infinity pool. I said to people, I've never been in a pool on a cruise ship. Just always too many people, and I dipped in there twice. I was just like, I was enjoying that pool. And then if you were not near the swim up bar, like you're away from the swim up part, you had so much space to yourself. And you have to realize that is, I think they're limiting that place to 250 people. And so therefore, even if you feel like, oh, there's going to be 4 ships, it's going to sell out. If the more ships they have, and it's going to be a max amount of people. So it's not just going to be like this overabundant amount of people that's going to be in there, and then it's just going to be like crazy crowded, even though I think 250 is kind of like a lot anyway. So it's going to be packed in there. And so what do you think about that? If 250 can fit in there, it was good space, but...
I think it can, honestly, because we had 2 ships in port, both of which were equal class ships, the Conquest, Glory, Freedom, all about the same class. And we were at 20 to 30% capacity, maybe. You go to any port and you're always looking for a chair. Here, it was pick chair. We went into the pool at a max, and we're talking noon-ish. There was 5-6 people in the pool. The swim up bar was not even full, and it probably had 15-20 seats around it. So, and this is, the other boats are not even going to get there before the expansion. So I think if they even added another Excel class in there across the island, I don't think it's going to be seating everywhere.
All right, absolutely. Can we talk about the elephant in the room?
What?
The bees.
The bees. Because I saw Scott put up bees. Let's talk about the bees. Let me know your experience. I'll tell you my experience.
Okay, so we went there 2 times, right? It was a Sunday and a Thursday. Sunday, I noticed the bees big time.
At the bars.
At the bars. And a little bit at the chair.
A couple, because somebody spilled a drink next to ours, so they liked the sweet. They came by that.
But by Thursday, it was significantly less. So I know John Heald had said they're doing this mitigation, they're doing this mint or whatever, and they're trying to alleviate it. It's working.
They just wiped out 200 acres of habitat for all sorts of animals. So the bees are pissed. So if they had a nest there, they're going to go, okay, my nest is gone. I have to make a new one. Where do I find the sugar to do this? Oh, look, there's limes and margaritas. I'm going there. You know what I mean? So what they're doing is taking a lot of bee colonies or beekeepers, and they're putting them outside so the bees go there. Nice. If you're in the middle of a desert and you see a water fountain and a bag of potato chips, where are you going? I'm going to the water fountain.
I don't think so. I think I'm going to the potato chips.
All right, fine. I'll do the potato chips first, and then I'll go to the water fountain. But either way, you're going to go to a spot. So they're mitigating them. And like she said, on the second round at the chairs, saw nothing. Walking around, saw nothing. At the bars where they have all the sugars.
They still had a couple, but it was not near as bad.
It's the same thing when we've gone to Atlantis. You know, you go to the bar at the water park and you're swatting bees. And they have the soda fountains there, nothing but sugar. You're swatting bees. It is what it is. But they've done a better job at it.
Yeah.
I had some issues with it, and they were coming around even though I didn't have a drink at times. And I was like, I had on a red watch and I had like a red book bag, you know, the Dr. Seuss one. I needed a bag, so I bought one from the ship, and it was pure red. And I'm like, are they attracted to red, and they're just coming around me?
Like
and of course, like if I had a drink, then they came, and then they were around me with that. But it was just like, okay, like, so we had to move our chairs a little bit further back from the pool at one time because just trying to get away from it. There were a nuisance. It wasn't like there was a swarm of them. But I really do feel like if you are nervous, if you are afraid, if you are an individual that, can have, allergic reaction to the point where, you could stop breathing, because I heard that it's on the other side of the island. Other side of the island, what does that mean to people who have an allergic reaction? That sounds a little far to me, right? Like you're breathing, you can't breathe, but oh yeah, they're on the other side. Medical attention is on the other side of the island. No, we need somebody here.
If you're allergic to bees, you're carrying an EpiPen.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
I will be allergic. I swell more, but not my throat. You know what I mean? So if I got stung by a bee, instead of it being a little mosquito bite, it's probably 10 times the size. But it's not like I'm anaphylactic shock allergic to bees.
But but what happened to people who don't know? Right, like
you've
never been bitten by a bee. You never did an allergy test.
In life,
so
like I don't know.
I think just gave somebody something to bitch about the new island.
Yeah, and they are alleviating it. They're working through it.
I'm glad that they are. But it was, but that's, as I said, it wasn't like they were swarming you. Yeah, they were a little inconvenienced, but I would get into the water. They weren't following me into the water anyway, and so that's how I just loved Pearl Cove, though. Like I would go back there for that pool and that infinity pool. It was just relaxing. It was serene. The music wasn't too loud, right?
It was perfect.
I love
that. The crew there across the island. Pearl Cove was amazing, but everywhere you went, it's like, did these folks train on a Carnival cruise? Because they actually gave a crap. And one lady we were talking to, she was such a sweetheart. I was like, you guys are amazing. Everybody's so friendly. And she's like, that's not us putting on a face for the tourist. She goes, this is my island.
Yeah.
And they were nice. I feel like they were very hospitable at Pearl Cove, like to the entrance, to showing you around when you came in. I didn't feel like nothing was a bother. They would come by and ask you for drinks, and if you wanted food, they'd bring it also to your chair. It was just a delight. I just really, like complimented them so much in terms of like how they were, and it was like kudos to them. From the moment you got there, you felt like you were welcomed. And not
Absolutely.
like, oh, you're just like a tourist. No, you felt like you were welcomed and they were happy to have you there. And so I agree with that. What did you like? Cruising Chris M says, what did you like about the food options? What did you like about the food options? What did you and did you not like about the food options?
Okay.
So how much did you eat, and where did you go, and what wasn't all that, and what was good?
Okay. So we got to go twice. So we did two different experiences. So the first time we opted not to do the food trucks. We decided to go to Mingo's, which is a paid restaurant, but you get 25% off. And that was in Calypso area, Lagoon. Yeah. But it's all like flamingo. We love flamingos. It's fun. But we got spinach and artichoke dip and quesadilla. And it was like $32, 25% off. So we didn't think that was bad. And it was pretty good food. So, the artichoke dip was a little weird. It had some weird cheese in it, but it was still good. And then the quesadilla was really good. The second time we did the food truck. And so there's two food truck parks. Yep. And there's also a food hall. So the food trucks are very specialized, right? You can either get chicken, like foul play, or burgers, or sushi. But on the kid-friendly side, they had different options too, right?
Wings and donuts.
But to me, the food hall looked like the best place.
Which I wish we had gone.
Which they had Mediterranean, they had pizza, they had a whole bunch of different stuff. But the problem with that is it's way far in the kid-friendly side. So if you're staying in the adult side, you gotta walk or take a tram to get all the way to the other side.
Right.
So I ended up going to a place with him because we were on the adult side. And then I went to the foul play. He got wings.
I got the wings, which were good. And there's two menus. There's the Island Eats, which is a couple free options, and then the rest of the menu. And the gentleman there was really cool. I ordered my wings. I got the garlic parm wings, bone in, and they were good. Cooked very well, seasoned very well. The French fries I loved. And she asked them.
They didn't have any vegetarian food options.
Okay.
They gave me free fries.
Yeah, she's like, can I just get a basket of fries? How much does that cost? He's like, I don't know. She's like, oh, he's like, why? She's like, well, I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat meat. He's like, I'll get you a basket of fries. So he got her a huge basket of fries. And I will tell you what we ate there was delicious. Absolutely delicious. Everybody complains about the portions. It was 4 wings, 2 drummies, 2 wings, and a basket of fries. So I thought it was great.
I think the thing is people are used to Half Moon Key where you get
the free food.
Yeah, I mean, we had 8 breakfasts, then we got off the ship. By the time it was time for lunch, we had our portion. You know, if I was hungry, I would have paid for something else. You know,
it's reasonably priced when it comes to a tourist destination. I don't think it's exuberant. I don't think it's cheap. But I mean, even locally, we live in Florida. We're next to a beach. I think it's priced like that or less than the tourist destination we live next to.
The only thing I will say is if you got something and you didn't like it, you're kind of SOL.
Yeah.
Right? If you didn't like what you opted to do for free, now you're going to have to pay money, you know.
Well, and we wanted to go to the fritter place because it's like there's vegetarian option. Yeah. Not on the free menu.
The free menu
Liz is a vegetarian. If you want vegetarian fritters, $12.
I'm like, come on.
So all said and done, I think it has an extensive variety of food. And even if you don't like what's on the free menu, which is basically duplicated, by the way, on the pay menu, I think it was reasonably priced and pretty damn good.
So the Island Eats, does it come with a drink? Like they have combos, or it's just food and the drink would be separate?
The drink's separate.
Yeah. The soda's worth $3. They're about the same price as the boat.
You could get free water.
Yeah, there's water stations everywhere.
You know.
Okay, so to get around it, if you don't want to spend any money, right, just have a great breakfast. Go on there, do the Island Eats. Bring your thermos of water or something that you could have, or just have water.
There's water stations everywhere, Paul. I mean, the one thing I will say, if you're an early riser and you win it, or you want to get off and eat, you're not going to.
Yeah, nothing.
The only place that's open is the coffee shop, which is under the water slide. Nothing else opens till 10:30.
You gotta pay for that.
Yep, 10:30 or later. That's when everything opens. So I'm more of an early eater. So don't expect to say, "Oh, it's 9:30. I want to grab a snack." You're not going to get it.
Eat on the boat,
exactly.
Or ship. Sorry, and then
plan for lunch.
I know.
And usually the buffet is open up like 6:30 on Carnival. So and if you're getting off at 8, you'll have time to eat breakfast, get your burrito from Blue Iguana or what have you, and then at least you'll be full until lunch is ready, and then then you have lunch and go forward from there. And so I think that is a workaround. So some people may be disappointed because they don't have the free buffet, and they can go back and eat as much as they want, but there is a great workaround if you feel like, especially if you don't want to spend any money or additional money, and enjoy yourself on Celebration Key. Let me try and see if I have any.
Portions were good, Paul. I mean, when you saw the burger, it's a full-size burger. It's not like a slider. It's a full-size burger with a bunch of fries. So I personally thought the portion sizes were quite fair.
Yeah.
So Chris says you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
Well said.
I had one mimosa.
Just because we wanted
to test if the ship card drink counted against your 15.
It does.
Which it does not. So if you buy stuff with the ship card, your 10 and your package, your anything you buy, it doesn't count against anything on the ship.
Yep.
So if you want to get ship-faced, feel free.
Yeah, Pearl Cove, and you can pay for everything with a credit card. Cash is only accepted in the shops where you're buying merch, but credit card everywhere else. So if you're the type that says, I want to get bleeped up today, I'm going to have 15 drinks here, and I'm going to have 15 drinks on the ship, you could. So why people complain the drink package doesn't work on the island, I don't think it's a bad thing, honestly. So it costs you a little bit of out of money pocket, but you're not going to top out your 15 on the boat.
Yeah. And so therefore that talk about having to use a credit card so that it won't come off of your 15 was bogus. So you can, as she said, you can do your drinks on the island, still go back on the ship, do your drinks. And
card, and it doesn't count against. Return. Yeah, I think TJ's destination said the same thing because he went to
and he tried it out
Cove and did it as well, and he had the drink package, and he got back on the ship. Same thing. Yeah. So he's got all 15.
Maggie said, "You start out with a Bloody Mary, then a mimosa or two, then it's lunchtime."
That's right.
Yeah.
So Legacia, this is the one. She was with me. I wouldn't do all inclusive because when I had a drink, I had to fight the bees.
Yeah,
so she's done it one and done with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we 3 days apart we did it, and there was a couple bees on Sunday. On Thursday when we got back, I didn't see any.
Yeah.
Scotty says, "What would you do different if you went back?" So you're going back. So what would you do different this year?
I'd go in a cooler month. I'll be honest with you. We're from South Florida. They did a bunch of decent sized palm trees. They have a couple shade areas, but all said and done, the time we went, and plus we have a heat dome or where the hell's over us in Florida, it was crazy hot. So if you want to spend time on the island, I would go a probably cooler time of year, and it would probably be more enjoyable. Unfortunately, yes, we are YouTubers, so you got to get out there and get the footage. So you can't just go sit on a chair and chill. You have to walk the island. Even still, if you weren't a YouTuber, it is hot. I would say stay away from July through probably end of August and let everything cool off a little bit, and you'll probably be able to enjoy it more. So
I would bring one of those water bottle fans with the spray. That's what I would do, because I had a neck fan, but it wasn't enough. I was still sweating, and then it sweat all over my shirt, and I had sweat stains everywhere. I'm like, damn, I'm disgusting. But whatever. Nuts. The actual place, I don't think I would do anything different other than we did Pearl Cove. Yep. We hung out at the Calypso Lagoon. We didn't go to the beach much. Maybe we would go to the beach area and check that out. Yeah. I was wearing my water shoes, so I was prepared, but we just kind of ran out of time. So other than that, I think it was great. It's so big. You could probably just try different things. I think maybe next time we would want to look at an excursion outside the port too.
Yeah. And they got some pretty cool. They have parasailing in port, but we're going back September. And then back again in December. So we'll report back.
Have you ever done Freeport? Have you ever been to Freeport before?
Yeah, when it was the standalone. I mean, that was kind of a wasted port, to be honest. Okay.
Yeah, it's 4 shacks and a couple things. We didn't do an excursion, so we got off walking around, hit the half straw markets, and got back on the boat, honestly.
Yeah. How about you?
So I have been. I think I the first time I went to Freeport was through Margaritaville at Sea, and I did an excursion, and it was kind of nice, because I wanted to do something, and I did one of those trams. It was a slow tram, but it was nice. I was able to go around the whole island and have somebody just say, and then he was talking about Celebration Key that was coming, and so they were anticipating Celebration Key. Even from back then. Hot Tea says, "Can you repeat the package you bought on Celebration Key?" I'm thinking that's maybe for Pearl Cove.
Yeah. So there's 3 packages. There's the $99.99, which is just entry. That allows you entry.
Getting in and one drink that they have rum punch.
The welcome drink. Yeah. But that's it. Then there's a mid-level, which is not all inclusive, but that gives you 10 drinks, right? Yeah. And then there's full
like
access, which is no, I think it's $179.
Well, TJ's destination.
Yeah, for the full is $179.99. That's what I paid,
and that includes lunch, right?
Oh yeah.
But
yes,
from what I've seen, the lunch there's only certain foods included.
Same with the drinks,
right?
All inclusive.
If you want different types of sushi and certain things, you have to pay an upcharge. So I don't know.
I think doing the $99 one, especially since all of the boats get there pretty early. I think there's one that gets there at 11 o'clock. But all of them get there at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. If you don't like drinking that early, I think just get the $99 package and buy the drinks as you go. They're the same price as the ship. A mixed drink, Kiss on the Lips, is like $12. I think it's $11.50 on the ship.
The VAT tax is expensive.
Yeah, VAT tax is 10%.
I would just say, like, if you know you're gonna drink 5, 6, 7, 8 drinks, get the 10 drinks.
Get the package.
If you know, because then you can still get your food elsewhere, right? You can leave Pearl Cove, go take the tram or whatever, and eat other things. So,
or bring rollerblades.
I'm trying to catch up with some of the questions. Is Pearl Cove more of a party, DJ, adult area, or quieter adult area? Wondering the difference between this and Calypso North 18+ area. So that's
way quieter.
Pearl Cove is much quieter.
If you want even the music after 10 o'clock, they tell you the music starts. So they have very quiet background music. In Pearl Cove, even at 10 o'clock, it ticked up a little bit. You go back out into the main areas, the music's going, the party's going, everybody's having a good time. So you want a nice, quiet, laid back area, Pearl Cove.
Yeah, but even Calypso North,
that wasn't crazy.
It wasn't crazy.
No.
Like it wasn't like Margaritaville, Grand Turk, and people are partying and shots. And it was not like that.
No.
It was not like that.
Maggie says, which chair would you buy if you were there all day and want to get the most bang for your buck?
But again, like because we're old now, we really don't drink, maybe a couple drinks on the island. We don't start drinking till later in the day or evening. So we would not get the 10 drink package. It's just not worth it for us. But if you are, right, you like to have a few drinks, I would get the mid-level because I don't think
it's only a $20 difference. So it's like $159 to $179. I mean, get the all-inclusive if you like doing that, but this is the only paid besides the water area, water slides that you have to pay to hang out in. Everything else, you can hang out anywhere you want unless you get a cabana. So if you're all day having a couple drinks, chilling, buy the package, $100. I mean, Pearl Cove was, just, oh my God. Like Paul said, that infinity pool, if you just lower your head down in that water, you see the edge of the pool, and then you see that beautiful blue Caribbean water.
It was awesome.
So nice. It was, oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God. So yeah, if you want an adults area, laid back, drinks or not, I would do the Pearl Cove. And I think after this video, they're going to sell out.
Next question.
Everybody watch this fall.
I'm not sure about this question. Are you able to buy duty-free alcohol and take it yourself, or do they take it to ship for you? Asking for a BYOB loving friend.
I don't know the answer to this.
We were there.
Anybody, like I know TJ's here. Anybody else has been there? We didn't look for liquor, but it's a great question. Most places we've seen, they bring it on for you. So I'd be interested.
It depends on where you are. If you tender ports, they normally bring it back for you because they bring it on the boat. Walk-on ports, you can normally bring it back. They collect it, but I don't know the answer. I really don't. Just sneak it in and just drink it in your room.
They never let you do that.
Nah, they're good. They're good.
God says, so what you're saying, Chris, is that Thursday the bees were in the trap.
But they were back in their hives. Yeah, they said they brought in some experts and they were mitigating the bee thing. And by that, they basically, I live in Florida and bees are crazy important down here. They find the queen for that hive and they move it. And then everybody follows the queen. So if there's no queen to be served, there's no bees around. They're still going to travel outside the range to find the sugar and stuff to bring back to them. Yes, I know a lot about bees. Sorry. I'll shut up now. They're working on it.
Here we go. What would solve the problem if they had a celebration key in
Alaska? be swimming in a dry suit because it's like 12 degrees out.
So how long was the ship in port? Mine was
we were there
8 to 5. We had to be back on the shore for 4:30. How was yours?
7 to 4 on one day and 8 to 5 the other.
Okay. So I think it's a long time to be in port and to be able to really enjoy it. So I don't think they shortchange you at all when it comes to the time being in port. So I like that about it.
Well, unless you're coming from
Baltimore,
other
Galveston,
farther destinations,
they have a
do cut it
7 to 11 or 7 to 1. Sorry.
7 to 1.
7 to 1 because they have to get the boat back to speed to get back to port. So
yeah,
if you're out of Florida, you're there a good 8.
It's usually till 4, which means you got to be back on by 3:30. And like that was like TJ, he says 3:30. We were at 4:30. So like it just depends on the ship.
It just like any port, there's a lot of people getting off. Get back an hour or two before you're supposed to be back on board, or you're going to incur massive lines. And you're not going to get a tram either.
Yeah.
So, in comparison to Carnival's other private destinations, private islands, because this is a private destination because it's on Freeport, where do you put Celebration Key?
Okay,
so on top. So there's Princess Cay, there's Half Moon Cay, right? And then there's now Celebration Key.
So we actually did Princess Cay's for the first time on the 4-day. Mm-hmm. And so we got to see what that was like. And then Half Moon Cay we've been to a million times. Which we love. The water there is gorgeous. Like it's absolutely gorgeous. It's also gorgeous though here in
it's really nice.
Princess Cay was gorgeous too, but like there are no free umbrellas and chairs. Like yes, they have a buffet. Your drinks you gotta pay for, right? Mm-hmm. And the buffet is a buffet. And like, you know what? People complain about the buffet. Yes, it's unlimited food, but it's burgers and hot dogs and salad. Like it's really not that exciting. Yeah. So to me, the fact that and like Grand Turk, which is not private, but like they do have chairs and things like that, but like it's very expensive because it's Margaritaville driven. You know, I personally, if I have to choose, I would do Celebration Key. That's just my opinion.
I would agree. It's also not tender. I don't like tenders. You know, if they had tenders that were 50 to maybe 100 people, then fine. You know, and that was it back in the day. You go to Belize, it's a smaller tender. Here, I mean, you got 3 levels. You're stacking 3, 4, 500 people on the boat. You're sitting there for a half hour. You're half dead before you even get to the island. Even worse, getting back to the freaking island. You've been there all day. You're drinking. You gotta pee. You're sitting on a boat. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm anti-tender port, but Celebration Key. I just think the layout. Again. I call them the crew. I know their residents, which was great because I think they have 1,500 people that work there, and that island got decimated. I think it's great.
So Half Moon Cay eventually is going to have. They're going to get rid of the tender. Will that kind of even it out for you, or you still feel like Celebration Key is like way up there?
3 chairs with umbrellas. It's
like $700.
There's no shade in Half Moon Cay.
And have you seen where the port's going, or the pier's going? By the way,
it's all the way on the other end.
So if you're docked and you're looking at the island, the tender goes to the right. It is all the way to the left, where you normally see people riding horses through the water.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're going to give us horses to get to the port. That'd be cool.
But there's no shade in Half Moon Cay, like literally at all. In Celebration Key, you got those little swim up swings you can sit on, the swim up bar, like the lagoon pool is massive. Like it's just it's such a different experience. Yeah. Like
I couldn't believe they can build a pool that big. I was literally just playing around on my phone and zooming. I did 1x, 2x, 3x, 10x, and I think it was 25x. And at 25x, I'm like, there's somebody still in the pool. I couldn't even see the end of that thing. You know, it's nuts.
And the thing about it is, the last time I went to Half Moon Cay, same thing. I had to do a clamshell. I think it was almost $40. And the part of where I was, the water was it was a lot of rocks on the sand. It was, and so I was scared to get in there because then I'd feel like, you know, knowing me, I would get cut or something of that nature. Yeah. And so I have to agree, like, and then dealing with this tender ports, just having to get off just having to get back onto the ship. Madness, the long lines all the time just to trying to get back onto the ship, dealing with the tender ports. And I think I would have to say the same thing. I think that Celebration Key is my favorite cruise destination. I've been to Princess. I have been to all those other places, and to be able to know that you don't have to rent an umbrella, you don't have to get a clamshell. You can just be able to just go and relax, and it is like it almost feels to a certain degree like a resort feel, because that's how you are when you go to all inclusive resort. That's how it is. You don't have to pay for an umbrella and all this other stuff. And if you don't go to all inclusive resort, you're gonna have to pay for food, right? It's only all inclusive resorts that you have to you don't pay for any food at all. So it kind of gives me those kind of a vibes.
And that's a absolutely great point. I have not thought of, because if you look at all the other cruise lines ports, it's water slides, lazy rivers, activity, 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 activity. Carnival's like, nah, we got 2 water slides. You don't like it? Jump in a pool. And you're right, Paul. It is like an all-inclusive resort where it's much more chill. I didn't even think about it. That is an absolutely amazing point. I don't know if that was their intent, but you are spot on with that.
Well, they will have the water park.
Yeah, they're building it now.
They're building a lazy river. So.
Well, John keeps saying no.
Do you have to? What?
Shay says, do you have to use one of the paid options to enjoy the infinity pool?
Yes, you do.
For Pro Code,
but it's $100, and I honestly think it's well worth it personally.
But it's again, it's more private, it's more secluded. But if you want the lagoon pool, which is by the way massive, you don't need to pay anything.
And there's an adult side to that. I will say in the Pearl Cove, we looked around. We're just chilling. There's no fences. It's not cordoned off or anything. And we noticed 2 kids walking around, probably innocently. And within 30 seconds, the crew was like, out, go.
So we have come almost to the hour. Thank you so much. Yeah. Literally 1 minute to go. Thank you so much, Carnival Cruise Addicts, Liz and Chris, for coming on and just telling us about your experience with Carnival Conquest. They have videos coming out. Make sure you stay locked in and check out their videos that are coming out. So they have, I'm sure, a lot of content regarding Carnival Conquest and a lot of content regarding Pearl Cove and Celebration Key. And so this was just a taste of what they have coming in with regards to their content. So make sure you check that out. And so thank you everybody that came on. Those people
Paul's got some great stuff coming out. Don't just thank us. This guy's got some watch his stuff. I know. Watch them.
Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you so much. So those people who I did not get a chance to say hi to in the comments, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for coming and checking out. Thank you so much again. These people are so great. I love having them on. And so until next time, everybody, I will see you next Monday. Happy travels.